Okay, good evening everyone. So let's discuss this paper, test number 3. So let's read the question over first. So as it says, a car at rest accelerate with this to a speed of this. So that means it is at rest. So initial speed is at rest, and finally it want to accelerate with a speed of 144 kilometer per hour. So first thing we need to change is unit. So it is in kilometer per hour. So we must convert it into meter per second. To convert kilometer in meter per second, we multiply 5 by 80. So if we solve, we'll get 40 meter per second. Okay, then the time taken in 20 seconds. So time taken is t is 20 second. So let's see, we have u, we have v, we have t. What is asked? How much is the distance covered? So to check when time is given, the distance covered can be calculated from the second equation of motion. Now the problem is we do not know this a. So our first priority should be to find out a. Okay, so we cannot use this equation direct because a is unknown. So what we'll do, inside we'll try to find out the a we already know. What is the formula for a? It is final speed minus initial speed upon time taken. This is a simple formula for acceleration. So in this particular case, the acceleration will be final, it is 40 minus initial, it is 0 divided by 20. So the acceleration is 2 meter per second square. Now we can solve it for s. So let's solve for s. U is 0, so 0 multiply with 20 will be 0. Half into acceleration is 2 into t square. T is 20, 20 square. So here we can see this 2 is going to be cancelled out. Then s will remain as 20 square, it will be 400 meter. So this was just a simple solving. Option C will. Let's read question number 2. A car moving with a speed of 40 can be stopped in 2 meter by applying brakes. So that means it is a special case question. Like I solved, suppose till stop something is asked. I explained this concept earlier also. If something is moving with a speed u and it can be stopped in a distance x, so somehow if the speed changes, let's say I do not know, but till it is stopped, let's say its speed has become n times. If its speed has become n times, then definitely the distance covered will be n square times. That is the logic. That is the logic. तो अभी हमें पता है कि इनिशियल स्पीड कितना था. इनिशियल स्पीड वाज 40 किलोमीटर पर आवर एंड देन इट स्टॉप्ड in how much distance? It covered 2 meter. Now what will happen if it started with 80? So 80 means what is the multiplier here? It is 2 times. Clear? So 2 times means we will do 2 square times the 2 meter. So the answer will be 8 meter. So this simple logic I explained during the lecture also, that from a shortcut we can solve this question just by this logic. Okay, question number 3 then. Let's read question number 3. So a particle moving in a straight line with constant acceleration, it changes its speed from 10 to 20. That means initial speed is 10 and the final speed it changed to 20. While covering a distance of this, S is known, it is 135. Now what is the time taken? We need to find the t. Okay, so for t we need acceleration. So we need to think to find the time we need acceleration, equation of acceleration we need. So what we can do, we can solve it from third equation, because third equation there is no time. So without the use of time we can solve from the this third equation also. So using the third equation, it will be v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So v is 20 square, u is 10 square plus 2a, s is 135. So see, it will be 400. This 100 will be negative, so this will be minus, is equal to 2 into a into, it will be 270. So if I consider a, so by subtracting these 400 minus 1, this will become 300 divided by 270. So if I see, 0 will get cancelled and this can be divided by 3 also. So it will be 10 by 9. So this will be our acceleration. Now we know how to find the time. So to find the time we can use the first equation. So here we used third equation. Now we'll be using first equation. And the first equation is v is equal to u plus at. So v was 20, u is 10 plus a is 10 by 9 into t. So if we subtract 20 minus 10 is equal to, it will be 10 by 9 into t. So if I subtract 20 minus 10 will remain 10 by t. So you see, this 10 is going to be cancelled and 9 will be cross multiplied. So cross multiplication करेंगे and t will become 9 seconds. So like that you can solve it. So this question is a bit lengthy because we needed to use two equations. First we need to use third equation to find the acceleration, then the first equation. So this is a bit lengthy, I'll say. It's not tough, but a bit lengthy, I'll say. Let's see question number 4. So the distance covered by a particle from rest and moving with an acceleration, this in third second. So distance in third second, मतलब एस nth का फॉर्मूला पूछा हुआ है. द फॉर्मूला इज u प्लस ए बाई टू 2n माइनस 1, ये पूछा हुआ है. सो एस nth विल बिकम u इज हाउ मच starting from rest, so u is 0, moving with an acceleration of 4 by 3, so a is 4 by 3. We are making 1 by 2, 1 by 2 is there, but acceleration is 4 by 3. Now 2n, in which second? Third second, so 2 into 3 minus 1. So the s third will be So this was also an easy question. All you needed is this formula. If you know this formula, then you can solve it easily. Answer will be 10 by 3. Now, in the next question, it has asked the ratio of distance covered in fourth and third second. So it has asked the ratio of s fourth and s third. Let's use the formula. It is starting from the rest. So that means there is no requirement of u. U is 0. U plus a by 2. I'll write all the things. 2 into 4 minus 1 upon u plus a by 2 into 2 into 3 minus 1. Now the good thing is this u is 0. This u has no value here. तो इसका मतलब what we can write? We can write a by 2 into this will be 4 into 2 8 minus 1 8 minus 1 7. This will be again a by 2 into 2 into 3 6 minus 1 matlab 5. So a by 2 is going to be cancelled and the answer will be 7 by 5. Let's see question number 6. So a car moving in a straight highway with the speed of this. So first you need to convert the speed because the speed is given in 108 kilometer per hour. So in the very first question also I explained to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second we need 5 by 18. Okay. So if we do 5 by 18 the answer will be 30 meter per second. Now it is brought in rest within a distance of this. So comes to rest. It comes to rest. मतलब क्या गिवन है आपको स्टॉपिंग डिस्टेंस गिवन है comes to rest that means आपको क्या गिवन है स्टॉपिंग डिस्टेंस how much is that it is 100 meter so we know the formula for stopping distance na as a stop so it is u square upon 2a clear so from cross multiplying it we can calculate it directly so the a will become u square by 2s. So u was how much 30 so it is 30 into 30 divided by 2 into s is 100 so if you see zeros will cancel out 3 into 3 9 by 2 9 by 2 is our acceleration for this question. Now how long does it take to stop the car so first we used this formula to make use of this stop distance. Now to find time we know we can use the first equation for acceleration. So it is v is equal to u plus at. The final speed has become 0 or even I can just say stopping time also. Stopping time. Stopping time. You remember the formula I explained it. Stopping time is u by a. So if you know the formula you can solve it very quickly. So in the exam it matters that you solve the question a bit fast. So u is 30, a is how much? It is 9 by 2. So as I explained earlier, if a number is divided by fraction, the denominator will move to the up. So it will be 13 to 2 divided by 9. So if I solve it, let's divide it by this. So it will be 10 into 2, that is 20 by 3. So that's how we can calculate for time also. Let's see 7 number. So 7 number is a bit tricky. It's a good one. It is like suppose a bullet is penetrating through an object. So a bullet hits a box with a speed of let's say u with a speed of u and after penetrating 3 centimeter. So let's say this is 3 centimeter. After penetrating the speed has degraded and now it has become u by 2. The final target is to stop. So how much distance it is going to be covered till it stops. So this is let's say x till it stops. So now let's use the logic of till it stops. What was the logic till it stopped? I know. Suppose somehow it started from u and stopped till 0. So it covered a distance let's say y or d. I can use any value. So you see what is the how much times is the speed? It is half times. It is 1 by 2 times. Speed has become half. So what we must do? We must square it to the d. So it will be d by 4. So how much if the total distance is d? So how much it covers at the end, it covers d by 4. Clear? But do we know the total? No, we do not know the total. What we know is from u till u by 2. Clear? So from u to u by 2 we can calculate the distance. Suppose the total distance is d. It is like this. So how much will become this? So as we know that this remaining distance, if I make it the remaining distance, let's say it is from u by 2. So the remaining distance here will be subtraction of this. So it is nothing but it is d minus d by 4. So how much it will become? It will be 3 times of d by 4. Clear? And in the question it is given that it is 3 centimeter. That means it is 3 times of d by 4 is 3 centimeter. So 3 will get cancelled out. And what will be the value of d by 4? D by 4 will be 1 centimeter. If I ask d, so d will be 4 centimeter. So what we mean by this is that the total distance here d is 4 centimeter. That means the total penetration is 4. But the question has asked for the extra penetration. So that extra penetration in the question is this d by 4. I represented it here. In the question I represented this is our extra penetration. This d by 4 is our extra penetration. How much will remain? So this d by 4, this particular d by 4 will be our furthermore penetration. So this is further penetration 1 centimeter. So the answer will be D. So it is actually a tricky one, although I have covered it in the lecture, but this one is a bit tricky to find this 1 centimeter, how much further it will penetrate. Now, let's see question number 8. A helicopter is moving 30 meter per second due north, then due north to 40 meter per second due east. So that means now it is turning from north towards the east. So now it is turning from north towards the east with how much? 40 meter per second. In how much time taken? Time taken is 20 seconds. Now the problem is, what is the problem? Let's see, I explained it earlier. Suppose there are three cases. Suppose two things are like this. This is 10, this is 10, let's say 20. So how much will be the total? Total, it will be 10 plus 20, which is 30. But what will happen if 10 is there and let's say 20 is in this direction? So that means because of the opposite direction, what I'll do? I'll subtract these 20 minus 10. The answer will remain 10. So the similar happens with when the two things are perpendicular. So if the two things are perpendicular, I explained it, the total we calculate is using the Pythagoras theorem. That means 10 square plus 20 square. That's how we solve it when they are at 90 degree. So for this particular question, we cannot subtract or add these directly. They will be solved from different perspective. So it is like x and it is like y. So we cannot solve x and y directly. We'll be solving it separately. So what is asked? What is the magnitude of average acceleration during this time? So average acceleration will be final speed minus initial speed upon time taken. So the final speed is towards which direction it is moving? The final speed is 40 x की तरफ. So it is 40 x side minus 30 y side. Divide by time is how much? 20 seconds. Now the problem is we cannot add x and y directly. We'll use Pythagoras pattern. So we can divide by 2. So it will be 2x minus 3 by 2 y. Clear? So it is basically a vector format. To find the net value, we will do square of these two things. So it will be 2 square plus 3 by 2 square. Now to solve 3 by 2 square, let's solve it. So net acceleration will be how much? 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. This divided by 4. So let's solve it furthermore. Now how to solve this? I have already explained it. If there is a number in denominator and a number is in multiplication, okay, so this is very simple. 25 is the root of 5 and 4 is 2. So the answer will be 5 by 2, which we can write 2.5 meter per second square. So this was a good question because both the direction were involved. So I already explained you when what happens when both the directions are involved, x and y both. Let's see 9. A person travels 4 meter to the north. So it is 4 meter to the north. Then he turns to the right. So right for the person going north will be right in the direction I shown. It is 6 meter. Then again left. So the person going east, the left is in this direction. So the person going east, the left is in this direction. So it is 4 meter. Now what is the distance from the starting point? So I explained you to find this distance, it's better to make a perpendicular triangle. So if I make a perpendicular triangle, this total distance will become a diagonal of that distance. So it's very clear from here that this distance is 6 and this distance is 4. So this total is actually 8. So this total distance is 8. So to find the final distance, this one, to find this one, what we can do? We can just use the Pythagoras theorem for this 8 and this 6. So it will be जो फाइनल पोजीशन होगी और डिस्प्लेसमेंट होगा इट विल बी रूट ऑफ 6 square plus 8 square. So let's solve it. 6 square is 36, 8 square is 64. The total value will be 100. So it will be 10. Okay. Now question number 10 is a logical based, I'll say. It is a logic based. So let me say, suppose this is a particular instant. Suppose 9 second has already completed. So this is a 10th second. 9 to 10 we call it 10 second. So how much distance is covered in this time? In this time interval it covered 26 meter. Now what happens in the next, let's say till 11, how much it covered? It covered 28. Now in the next 1 second it covered 30. Now in next 1 second it covered 32. So you see in each second these are 1 second, these time windows are 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. So see in each 1 second what is happening? Plus 2, again plus 2, again plus 2. So you see, is the speed constant? No. Is speed constant? No. Why? Because अगर speed constant होता तो it must have covered the same distance ना. So the thing is speed constant? No, because it is not covering same distance. Because it is not covering same distance each second, same distance each second. So इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है, each second it is increasing but the amount is fixed, which means the increase in speed is there but it is fixed. So increase in speed is fixed. So increase in speed is fixed each second. So each second if increase in fixed, that means acceleration is, increase in speed is nothing but it is acceleration. So acceleration is constant. Clear? And the initial speed is not zero. Clear? क्योंकि each second 2 का increase हो रहा है, so you can calculate कि previously कितना होना चाहिए था, initially कितना होना चाहिए था. So it means initially zero नहीं होगा. So we can say it is a uniform accelerated motion with some initial speed. Let's say 11 number. Okay, now so from the 11 it is very simple. We need to use second law of motion. What it is? The force is change of momentum, rate of change of momentum, p by t. And how we calculate the momentum? M into speed, v final minus v initial, or I'll say v minus u by t. So that's how we calculate momentum. Now the thing is, the mass is given in grams, so we need to convert it in kilogram. So first there will be mass converted in kilogram, then change in speed. The final speed, a player caught a ball, so that means completely stop हो गई होगी. So finally it has stopped, but initially it was moving with 20. And what is the time taken? The time taken is 0.1 second. So let's solve it. So what happens now? 0 get cancelled out, and this point will increase a 0 upside all. I'll say it will remain 15 into 20 divide by 0.1 का मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे 1000 से, so it will remain 1000 into 0.1, so it will be 10 and 10 will be cancelled out. So final after solving the answer will be 30. So we can just simply calculate by mathematics that for this question answer is 30 Newton. Twelve number. Now what happens in the 12 number? That the ball initially is moving with 12. Now it hits it, so that it turned back. It turned back with a speed of 20. So that means now it is negative. Opposite direction में it is in negative. Clear? So now the force will be same 150 divided by 1000. This is our mass into final speed is now minus 20. Minus of initial speed, it is 12. Divided by time taken is now 0.01. So if I solve it, 10 is going to get cancelled. It will be 15 into, it is 32 divided by 100 into 0.01. So 0.01, that means 100 will become 1. All we need is to multiply 15 with 32. So 15 with 32 we multiply, it will be 480 Newton. So that's how we can calculate it easily. Now some of you are thinking, sir, the answer will be negative. Yes, it doesn't matter, the force can be negative also. So but in the option it hasn't asked about the sign. The sign says that the force will be applicable in opposite direction to push it back. The same is going to happen here also. The force is in negative. So negative is nothing but just the direction. Okay. So no need to include the negative in final answer. It is just to direction. Let's see 13 number. Now the acceleration of a car is 4. If the car pulls another car, so suppose a car is there. Now it is going to pull another car. So force is fixed, force is there, but the mass is doubled now, na? This is m, this is m. So what will happen? Suppose the force required is mass into acceleration. So acceleration is 4, that means force is 4m. But the problem is that now the four masses are 2, but the force is same. Force hasn't changed. So force is equal to क्या हो जाएगा? 2m. दो masses हैं और I'll write first m plus m into कोई एक नया acceleration which it has asked. So that a dash is force divided by 2m. But in earlier section we saw that the force was 4m divided by 2m. So the answer is 2. So basically initially it was accelerating with 4. Now the mass has doubled. Clear? It is because it is pulling the same car of the same mass. So mass has doubled, that means acceleration must be less. Now this one is a good question. Suppose a rocket is there and it said it is blasted upward with an initial acceleration of 10. तो मतलब इस पे कितना फोर्स लग रहा होगा? 10 का. क्लियर? एक्सेलरेशन इज 10. बट आपको पता होना चाहिए कि एक एक्सेलरेशन तो ऑलवेज लगेगा ना अपोजिंग दिस. दैट एक्सेलरेशन इज ग्रेविटी. सो दैट एक्सेलरेशन इज ग्रेविटी mg. ये तो लगेगा ही लगेगा. तो इसका मतलब ये क्या है? ये एक्स्ट्रा है ना. तो अगर मैं टोटल पूछूंगा आपसे एफ टोटल तो कितना हो जाएगा? पहले तो ग्रेविटी को हमें ओवरकम करना पड़ेगा और फिर कुछ एक्स्ट्रा लगाना पड़ेगा ना. एफ प्लस एफ एक्स्ट्रा. ओके, ये जो एफ है ये क्या है? टू ओवरकम द ग्रेविटी. ओके, तो इसका मतलब अगर हम बात करें सो एफ टोटल विल बी mass into acceleration. So this is mg plus this is m into a. So it means it will be mg plus a. M is how much? It is 3.5 into 10 to the power 4 into g plus a. G is 10 and a is also 10. So the answer will be 20. 35 into 20 will be 70 into 10 to the power 4. एक जीरो और ऐड कर सकते हैं. सो दिस विल बिकम 7 into 10 to the power 5. सो इस तरीके से एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं. तो दिस क्वेश्चन इज अ बिट ट्रिकी और बहुत ही अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट से डाउट होता है क्योंकि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट सिर्फ क्या कर देते हैं? एफ इज इक्वल टू एम ए लगा देते हैं. तो एम कितना है? 3.5 into 10 to the power 4 इंटू 10 लगा देते हैं. तो क्या बन जाता है? 3.5 into 10 to the power 5. ये गलत है. क्यों? क्योंकि ये तो यार एक्स्ट्रा है. ग्रेविटी को ओवरकम करके वो लिफ्ट अप हो पाएगा ना. सो इट हैज ब्लास्टेड विद दिस एक्सेलरेशन. दैट मीन्स उसने ग्रेविटी को ओवरकम कर दिया हुआ है. सो दैट मीन्स वी नीड दिस फोर्स प्लस ग्रेविटी. दैट मस्ट बी द करेक्ट आंसर. Okay, let's see 15. So a block is there 4 kg. Now two frictions are there. Mu static is 0.5 and mu kinetic is 0.4. So now we know that it is a 4 kg. So एक इस पे mg लग रहा होगा and to overcome that mg एक क्या लग रहा होगा? नॉर्मल लग रहा होगा. And that normal must balance mg. So that normal will become 4 into g is 10, 40. So this normal is force. Now we need to calculate the friction. What is the maximum friction? F max. So calculate कैसे करेंगे? Mu s into n. Mu s is 0.5, n is 40. So कितना आ जाएगा? 20. अभी देखो, the maximum friction is 20, but question में क्या बोल रहा है? The force applied to the box is 4. If applicable is F4, how much friction will oppose it? F required is only 4. F required will be only 4, not whole 20. The 20 is its maximum value, that is this much amount it can act. But what is the required value? It is just 4 Newton. Okay. So rectangular block held against a vertical wall. So in the previous test also I have given the same question and I explained it in very detail that if something is held against a wall, it has said that the force applied is 200 Newton. So I explained you the mg will be acting downward, but the contact is in this direction. So which means the normal force must be in this direction. Now normal is there, mg is there. Now who is going to counter this mg? It is friction. Friction is going to counter the mg. But to calculate, we need to calculate the maximum value of friction. So F key max value we need to find. What it will be? It will be mu into n. For this case, mu given है. Question में given it is 49 into what is the normal reaction? It is 200. So it will be 98. So the maximum force possible is 98. Now see whether this much is required or not. Even this is required or not. But question में पूछा हुआ है नहीं. If the friction force just prevents the block. So just prevents the block का मतलब ये है कि friction ने पूरा बचा लिया किसको? mg को. So friction is 98. M we need to find, G is 10. So now do not take G10. As you can see here it is 9.98. So it's better to take a value of 98, 9.8. So the mass will be 10 kg. So like that we can calculate, but we need to be careful that in this question N has nothing to do with mg. N has got nothing to do with mg. Both the things are totally two different. Same, a box held against a wall, 6 kg. So ये 6 kg है. So now what we know the mg. What is going to pull it down? So this mg is 6 into 10, I'll say 60. Now what is going to oppose it? It is the friction. Friction, we need to check whether it can oppose or not. Okay. So it said that a force perpendicular to the wall. A force is there. We do not know what this force is, and there is a normal reaction. So now we know what is the minimum force to be applied so that this coefficient can save this box. So that means it has said that friction is acting maximum and it wants to save the weight. So the friction I can write, it will be mu into n is equal to, this is mg. So mu we need to find, mu is given 0.42, n we need to find, and mg it is 60, and it is 60 divided by 0.42. So it will be 10 divided by, sorry my mistake, एन हमें फाइंड करना है, सो इट विल बी 60 डिवाइडेड बाई 0.42. पॉइंट कैंसिल होगा तो ऊपर जीरोज ऐड होंगे, एन विल बिकम okay. Now we need to just calculate it. Okay, so I guess it must be clear to everyone now that we calculated this, and from there we can calculate. So now let's see, it will be, let's divide it by 6, so it will be 1000 divided by 7. Now let's calculate it to the nearest value. So 7 1 times, 3 4 times, okay, nearly ये value आ रही है. So from the figure we can see that n is approximately 120. ओके, सो प्रॉब्लम समझ में आया. हमने जी की वैल्यू क्या यूज़ की है यहाँ पर 10. अगर हम 10 यूज़ नहीं करते, सो इसका मतलब क्या होता है, ये वैल्यू कम आती और ये आंसर 140 के राउंड आ जाता. तो मैंने आपसे यही बताया, देयर इज़ नॉट अ बिग प्रॉब्लम इफ़ यू यूज़ 10. एट द एंड यू कैन जस्ट चेक एंड सॉर्ट इट आउट कि व्हाट इज़ द नियरेस्ट आंसर. अगर हमने जी 9.8 लिया होता, सो आपका प्रिसाइज आंसर आ जाता है एकदम. सो वो आपको थोड़ा सा केयरफुल रहना और समझना है what will be that answer. Question number 18. So 20 kg block initially at rest and 75 is required to move. The coefficient of static friction. तो दो टाइप के फ्रिक्शन है. एक फ्रिक्शन है just to move, वो है 75, and another friction is there 60. So I can say just to start the motion when it was at rest, ये static वाला है. So this friction is static. और हमसे क्वेश्चन भी क्या पूछा हुआ है, स्टैटिक, जबकि ये फ्रिक्शन क्या है, ये काइनेटिक है. काइनेटिक और स्लाइडिंग आयल से. तो यहाँ से हम चीज़ों को कर सकते हैं. नाउ द थिंग इज 20 kg का बॉक्स है एंड दिस मच फोर्स इज रिक्वायर्ड. तो दिस फ्रिक्शन इज रिक्वायर्ड ना. सो रिक्वायर्ड टू फॉर व्हाट, रिक्वायर्ड टू काउंटर द फ्रिक्शन. So it means it says that the friction force will be 75. So I'll say F static is 75 Newton. Now a 20 kg block is initially at rest. So the block is 20 kg. So 20 kg. So its weight is 200. So the normal reaction is also 200. Now I know that the force required is 75 Newton. So I'll say F is mu into N. So mu will be F by N. So the force is 75 Newton divided by normal reaction. So normal reaction is 200. So if we solve it, we will get the answer near about 0.38. So that's how sometimes you need to solve in the fraction also. That's why I have given this question, that sometimes the answer is not straight. You need to divide it to the lowest values. Okay. So 10 kg box is there and a force of how much, 20 Newton is acting. So 10 kg box is there, 20 meter is acting. Now it says how much additional force is required to move it. सो टू मूव इट, मूव करने के लिए हमें क्या चाहिए, ओवरकम द फ्रिक्शन, ओवरकम द फ्रिक्शन। सो इट मीन्स फ्रिक्शन फोर्स हम अगर निकाल लेंगे, सो वी कैन से कि विद हाउ मच स्पीड इट मस्ट बी मूविंग। सो कितना हो जाएगा, फ्रिक्शन सॉल्व कर लेते हैं। फ्रिक्शन मैक्स, it is mu into n. So mu is how much? It is 0.4. N is how much? 10 mga. So it is 100. So the force required is 40 Newton. How much we have? 20 Newton. So it means it requires 20 Newton extra. See, no answer matches with the 20 except this 19.82, which means because we have considered this g as 10, अगर हम g को 10 नहीं कंसिडर करते तो आंसर थोड़ा सा कम आ जाता. So I'll say the extra force required, that extra force required is 40 minus 20, it is 20 Newton. अगर g की वैल्यू यहाँ पे कम ले लेते तो ये वैल्यू 40 से कम हो जाती, सो उसके अकॉर्डिंग माइनस भी थोड़ा सा कम हो जाता. Let's see 20 number. So box is there, 10 kg it is, a friction is there, mu is 0.5. First we need is F max, so it is mu into n. So mu is 0.5 given in the question. N is, how much is the weight? It is 10 kg. So weight is 100. That means N is 100. So it will be 50. So maximum friction is 50. Now someone is pushing it with a force of 100. So if I make another figure in which I'll say that someone is pushing it with 100 but someone is opposing it with 50, what is the net force? So the net force is 50, and we can write that net force as mass into acceleration. So acceleration will be divided by mass, 50 by mass is 10 kg, so acceleration will be 5 meter per second. So ये थोड़ा सा आप लोग को केयरफुल रहना है that how to proceed a particular question, किस लॉजिक पे वो दिया हुआ और उसे कैसे सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. Okay, so that's it. Bye bye everyone.